you sit down to work. You open your laptop, you promise yourself, today I will finally focus. 2 minutes later, your hand is already reaching for your phone. A notification. A short video. A quick dopamine hit. Suddenly 30 minutes are gone and you hate yourself again for being lazy and undisciplined. You start to believe there is something wrong with your brain. But your brain is not broken, it is hijacked. For most people, discipline feels painful. Reading a book hurts, deep work hurts, going to the gym hurts, but scrolling, snacking, and binge-watching feel effortless. You keep asking, why can't I just stay motivated? Why can't I focus like other people? The answer is not that you are weak. The answer is that your dopamine system has been rewired against you. Dopamine is the brain's motivation chemical. It is not happiness itself. It is the anticipation of reward. For thousands of years, small dopamine spikes pushed humans to hunt, build, explore, and survive. Food, warmth, social approval, all slow, natural rewards. But modern life is different. Now your brain is hit with artificial dopamine every few seconds. Short-form videos, endless feeds, bright colors, loud sounds, sugar, porn, games, and notifications constantly scream for your attention. Each one is designed to give you a fast, intense spike. Here is the trap. Every time you chase a quick hit, your brain raises the bar for what feels interesting. Your baseline dopamine level drops. Normal, quiet activities like reading, studying, or working on your goals start to feel unbearably boring. This is the biological hijack. You are not choosing laziness. Your nervous system is simply craving the stronger, cheaper source of stimulation. When you sit down to do deep work, your brain compares it to the last hit and says, this is nothing. Go back to the feed. The Stoics understood this problem long before smartphones. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Whatever you repeatedly do, you become. Seneca warned that the crowd will pull you toward vice, noise, and distraction. Epictetus taught that if you are ruled by pleasure, you are not free. They did not know the word dopamine, but they saw the same pattern. The mind addicted to comfort loses the ability to endure effort. Oh, how do you escape this hijack and rewire your brain to enjoy discipline again? You do not need a perfect morning routine or a 90-day dopamine detox challenge. You need a simple Stoic protocol that resets your dopamine. Low is sodence, lowers your addiction to cheap pleasure, and makes hard work feel rewarding again. Step 1 is to build the fortress. Seneca said, we must lock out the vices, not suffer them to creep in. In modern language, stop relying on willpower and control your environment. Remove the triggers that hijack your brain. When you work, your phone should not be in your hand, on your desk, or even in the same room. Put it in a drawer in another space. Turn off non-essential notifications. Log out of social media on your computer. Make the wrong choice slightly harder to access and the right choice slightly easier. Discipline becomes much easier when temptation is out of reach. Step 2 is voluntary discomfort. Marcus Aurelius practiced sleeping on the floor, wearing simple clothes, and eating plain food to toughen his mind. Why? Because when you choose small daily discomforts, your brain stops expecting constant pleasure. This naturally resets your dopamine baseline. You can do the same today. Take a cold shower instead of a hot one. Walk for 10 minutes without music or podcasts. Skip the snack you usually eat at night. When you remove some of the cheap highs, normal life starts to feel rich again. Reading a book no longer feels like torture, it feels calm. Doing 1 hour of focused work no longer feels impossible, it feels satisfying. Step 3 is the do it badly rule. Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Your problem is often not that the task is hard, but that your standard is too high. You wait to feel perfectly motivated. You wait for the perfect time. The Stoic solution is to ignore feelings and lower the starting barrier. Tell yourself, I will do this task badly for just 2 minutes. Open the book and read one page poorly. Open the document and write the worst first sentence. 1,000 on due 10,000 to Weshut's 1 lazy push-ups. Once you start, dopamine begins to flow from progress instead of from distraction, and your resistance fades. You trick your brain into motion and discipline becomes momentum. When you combine these 3 steps, the fortress, voluntary discomfort, and the do-it badly rule, you are no longer fighting your biology. You are retraining it. You are teaching your brain that reward comes from effort, not from endless scrolling. This is exactly what Stoic philosophy aimed at. Aligning your habits with your virtue true pachasa jaw, that tochozo your values, your other dot, becomes your natural state, not a constant battle. Your brain will not change in one day, but each small act of resistance rewires it. Each time you choose focus over distraction, you send your nervous system a clear message, or the sore message. We get our dopamine from growth now. Over weeks, you will notice that sitting with a book feels easier. Deep work sessions get longer. The urge to check your phone weakens. Then CJs and discipline starts to feel strangely enjoyable, even addictive. Imembu are not broken, you are not we. Wit says that you are simply living in a world that profits from your distraction. Hanro Desaish. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire and still wrote to himself every morning to guard his mind, if he needed reminders. So do you. Build your fortress today. Choose one small discomfort, or one task badly for 2 minutes. Begin to reclaim your dopamine and your focus, one decision at a time. This battle for your attention is the war of our time. Saudar. Every day you do not fight back, you lose a piece of your potential to an algorithm that doesn't care about you, but now you have the protocol. You know that the fortress, voluntary discomfort, and the do-it badly rule are your weapons. The only question remaining is, do you have the will to use them? I want to know which protocol you are starting with today. Scroll down right now and comment fortress if you are cleaning your environment, or discomfort if you are ready to embrace the cold. I read every comment because I want to see who is truly serious about this path. Subscribe button. We are building a legion of modern Stoics here, and we need you in the ranks. And now that you've started to reset your dopamine, you need to learn how to silence the toxic people who try to drain your raw new energy. Watch this video next to master the Stoic silence technique. It is the perfect shield for your new focus. Click here and I will see you there.